Hello, and welcome to the Money Facts channel. Today, we'll discuss building multiple income streams for your wealth. You might ask yourself, how do I diversify my income? If you consider doing so, the process is quite simple, and many of us already have multiple sources of income, we aren't aware of them. The goal of creating multiple income streams should be to maximize your potential in each of the categories available to you. It isn't reasonable to expect you to produce a lot of long-term income streams for wealth if you are starting. However, if you start using your primary wage to its fullest extent, you will find that you have extra money that you may reinvest to create new income streams using various asset categories. It's often said that you need to have several sources of income to become truly wealthy. Before we continue this video, please like, subscribe to our Money Facts channel, and enable the bell notification. This has also been covered in earlier videos. To be safe, you should have 3 to 7 different sources of income. But here's something that hardly everyone is aware of. Having several sources of income does not make you wealthy. Having various sources of income helps you maintain your wealth, but first, you need to get wealthy, and there is another method to do it as well. Now picture yourself alone in the wilderness. You have to get through the night despite the cold and danger. What do you do then? Build 4 fires and sit in the center of them, or create one large fire that will last you all night and sit next to it? As you can see, the amount of wood required to start a big fire is the same as the amount needed to make smaller ones. You may believe 4 fires provide some fail-safe if one goes out. However, because they all have far less wood than a large one, they all have an equal risk of failing. You must also start the fire 4 times rather than once. It's more complicated to start a fire without a lighter, but we don't know if you've ever tried. So in this instance, creating a single large fire is more straightforward and dependable. You only have space to take care of other things after you have a sturdy fire that keeps you warm and safe. Cash is an income stream, just as this fire is a heat stream. Before you can create another one, you need one decent and trustworthy one. Let's look at the various processes by which money is made to grasp this better. Stage 1, $100,000 in assets from nothing. The majority of people will only ever experience this stage in their lives. How many of you regularly had 6 figures in your bank account? Most people believe that to earn 6 figures annually, you must have several sources of income that, when combined, will bring you to that sum, but this needs to be more accurate. It is possible, however, a more complex method must be used. Here is a trade secret that few people are aware of. Making $100,000 a year is equivalent to making $1 million in terms of labor. Just give it a moment's thought. You cannot work 10 times harder if you want to increase your income by a factor of 10. It's impossible. With only 24 hours a day and you must sleep and eat twice a day, you cannot expect to work 100 hours a day and earn $1 million. However, you may expect to earn $100,000 annually by working 10 hours daily. Second, there is no relationship between input volume and output. Rather than the number of things that make you, growth and scalability hold the key to the solution. Building a new income stream is much more complex than expanding an existing one. Therefore, it is safer to concentrate on doing just one item well for more enormous profits on your first $100,000 a year. You can now choose one of these 3 income streams. You are working as an independent contractor. That, or starting a business, is it? There isn't an alternative. With varying degrees of effort, any of these can help you reach an annual income of $100,000. That would entail being promoted to an executive position where your responsibilities align with your annual compensation. Higher fees and a better clientele are what it implies for independent contractors. It entails a better business model for the company with a more significant profit margin. If your job pays you $20,000 annually, you must work at least 5 positions simultaneously. People who work numerous jobs do so to live, not to get wealthy, but that is a separate discussion. You will only have time to take on 5 times as many jobs if you earn $20,000 per year as an independent contractor from your projects. And if your company makes the federal minimum wage, that is just the price of doing business in the early years. There are better decisions than starting 5 different enterprises, especially when they barely make it. When should you consider having many sources of income if there are better ways to save your first 6 figures? That's a pretty good generalization, at least once you earn your first 6 figures. You can start considering adding more income streams once any of those categories put you in a position where you can consistently earn 6 figures each year. However, there is a crucial task you must complete beforehand. Your first source of income needs to be automated. Starting new ones serves no purpose. Suppose the first one continues to consume 8 to 10 hours per day. You must figure out how to continue earning money while reducing your engagement. Can it continue to operate without you? Although we've seen people automate their employment without letting their supervisors know, that's another topic for another day for a job that's a little more challenging. However, working as an independent contractor entails employing more staff members and acquiring more clients. As a business owner, you need to assemble a team that can handle matters internally as you venture out and create new revenue sources, either through the company itself or through various goods and services through a different company. Launching a new revenue stream may not be the best action if your primary income stream cannot be automated first. Automate the first source of income before creating the second. Since nothing is ever completely black and white, this is not an absolute rule, but it still provides a solid framework for planning your financial future. There is a crucial qualification to make here, though. Some people can combine those 3 income streams. The most typical combination is working a job and becoming an independent contractor. This is what individuals mean when they say they have a side business. They now do this to shift the primary source of income from their job to their independent work. They are doing this since scaling as a freelancer is more straightforward than becoming an executive director at a company. This is how you create a source of revenue, and it works the same for your third and fourth. Real estate is the lone exception to this rule. You pay a deposit, find a place, and collect rent. After the purchase is finalized, you are not required to stay there, but it may take years to pay for the property. The investment comes first, followed by the income stream. Speaking of investments, are they regarded as a source of income? It's more complicated than that, though. Investing generates income when you have a considerable amount of both time and money. Stocks often return 15% annually, if nothing else catches fire, that is. For instance, if you sold stocks today, you would lose money because a recession is imminent, and most stocks will drop significantly. We produced a video on prominent stocks that have declined by more than 50%. Following this video, you should check it out, but let's get back to the point. Imagine everything goes according to plan, and you receive an average 15% return on your investment. You won't be able to retire on $150, which is what a 15% return on $1,000 represents. Therefore, you must start with a respectable sum for returns to amount to anything worth noting. Additionally, it would help if you had time. You could earn 15% this year and lose 35% the following. You're in bad luck, my friend, if you need money now. For positive returns to compound, you must provide ample time. Should you entirely disregard investments, as we're talking about 10 years or more? Naturally. It is, after all, free money. Additionally, there is another reason why people with financial literacy invest their hard-earned money, to secure and preserve it for the future. The US saw one of its worst inflationary episodes this year. Still, more nations are struggling financially. There is not much beauty in the world right now. Therefore, financially wise people are buying assets resistant to recessions, and one such item is art. Here, we're discussing fine art, not your child's drawings for the refrigerator. Blue-chip art today refers to high-end artwork predicted to appreciate despite economic fluctuations. The only issue is that investing in art has historically been difficult unless you're wealthy. Here's where our friends at Masterworks come into play. Masterworks certifies the paintings of famous artists like Banksy and Picasso with the SEC, turning them into shares that you can purchase for a small fraction of their total price and potentially benefit from. Masterworks resale results speak for themselves. There have been 5 sales so far this year, with the latest 3 seeing net returns to investors of 15, 20, and 35%. Masterworks, which has over 500,000 subscribers, has had paintings sell out in minutes and is continually producing more to keep up with demand. Now that all of this has been said, What advice do we have? First, choose a niche and stick with it. It would help if you first took care of your absolute necessities. Realistically speaking, you can only juggle a few vital tasks simultaneously since you have a finite amount of mental energy. Simply put, it is unsustainable, but after you discover it, once your basic needs are met, and you have some mental space, you may consider creating a second income source. For this second source of income, you must invest the same time and effort as you did for the first. Although we have created numerous revenue streams, we consistently follow this formula. Start by figuring out the first one. You will eventually do things half-heartedly if you spread yourself too thin, since you will need more time and energy. And we are also guilty of falling for this trap. We used to start too many side projects at once, leaving us with a never-ending list of upkeep and maintenance to keep everything afloat. The video has come to an end. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Enjoy your day, and thanks for watching.